Why is the sky blue? Why don't birds get electrocuted on wires? Why do we dream? Why do cats' eyes glow at night? Why does the moon change shape? Why do onions make us cry? Can humans live on Mars? Why do we get hiccups? Why is salt added to ice when making ice cream? Why do fingers wrinkle in water? Why can't we tickle ourselves? Why do zebras have stripes? Why do leaves change color in autumn? Why does Earth have seasons? Why does sound travel faster in water? Why do snakes shed skin? Why do some animals glow? Why is the ocean salty? Why do volcanoes erupt? Why does our stomach growl? Why do we yawn? Why does metal feel colder than wood? Why do camels have humps? Why do bats hang upside down? Why does ice float on water? Why do bees die after stinging? What causes rainbows? Why do dolphins sleep with one eye open? Why do stars twinkle? Why is Pluto not a planet? Why do penguins waddle? Why does the sun look yellow from Earth? Why do elephants have big ears? Why does sound echo? Why do cats purr? Why does Earth rotate? Why does chocolate melt in your hand? Why do giraffes have long necks? Why does lightning occur? Why do chameleons change color? Why do we blink? Why does fire need oxygen? Why is the desert so hot? Why do humans have fingerprints? Why does the moon have craters? Why do whales sing? Why does iron rust? Why do birds migrate? Why is glass transparent? Why do we get goosebumps?